Hello, Dan Joss. How are you today?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm well.
Good.
So on Money Talks, we usually talk about money, but today we're going to talk a little bit about insurance because that does have a lot to do with money and whether or not you get to keep it.
It does.
So what type of insurance do you want to talk about today?
Well, we could talk about three and how they work together.
Okay,
So we'll start
sounds
with
like a
the
plan.
auto, home, and umbrella policy. Which
See, I'm used to hearing auto, home, and life, but auto, home, and umbrella.
umbrella policy.
Is that like the rainy day thing?
It would help in a rainy day, yes.
Yeah, okay. Do
the,
tell.
The umbrella policy, or sometimes referred to as an excess liability insurance, covers your home and your auto. So it is an umbrella over the liability insurance that's on your home and your auto insurance.
Okay.
The umbrella policy is typically sold in $1 million increments. So $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, etc. The auto and home policies, and the same would be true for watercraft or a second home or a rental home, any other, second car, third car, motorcycle, those kind of things. Those have some liability in the policy. And there's a state law requirement that says you have to have this amount of coverage. And then there's, recommended amount. And most policies I've seen have $300,000 to $500,000 of liability insurance, in addition to the property damage that the car has, personal property that the home has, and those kind of additions. So
Okay.
auto and home has property damage and liability.
Right.
To pay for damage to people, things. And if you only have $500,000 of liability insurance on either your home or your auto, then the umbrella policy.
That would mean if somebody came to your house and had a slip and fall.
Sure. Or a car accident, you'd be covered for $500,000.
Okay.
If you had that coverage of liability.
But what happens, because inflation, if it's over $500,000 worth of damage?
Then you're self-insuring that, or you get an umbrella policy.
Okay.
So the umbrella policy will add $1 million or $2 to the top of the $500,000 of coverage you have on your auto and your home.
All right.
Now the trick is sometimes, well, always, the umbrella policy will require a certain amount of insurance on your auto and your home. Like we said, $500,000.
Okay.
If you only have $300,000 on your auto or your home, and the umbrella policy you get requires $500,000, then you need to raise the liability insurance on your auto and your home.
Right.
To meet that. Otherwise, you're self-insuring the
About
middle part.
$700,000.
Because if you had a $1 million lawsuit, the auto or home would pay $300,000. The umbrella would kick in at $500,000, and they would cover $500,000 up. The donut in the middle, the donut hole is out of pocket.
Is the gap. Okay. At $200,000.
So the insurance gap is a real gap.
Okay.
And your insurance provider should make sure you don't have any gaps. But even with that, I've seen a couple of times that I've caught gaps in the policies that we review.
Okay.
So it's a real thing, and you may not notice it until you wish you hadn't noticed it.
Right. Now, why is it that Dan Joss with Josh Brown Financial is talking to me about insurance? Because you don't sell insurance.
No, we are certified financial planning professionals, and part of our onboarding process is reviewing all things financials. And so that would include insurance, property and casualty. We don't sell insurance, you're right there. But we'd want to make sure that you have the right amount of insurance, you don't have gaps. We also look at other insurances, life insurance, long-term care. Again, we don't sell it, but we just want to make sure that what our clients have is for them.
Right.
And then other things, estate tax. There's lots of things financial that aren't just about investing.
Okay. And I guess that's why you're financial planner, not just a stockbroker or one little thing. You're helping with the overall global message.
Yep. We say we're holistic wealth advisors.
Holistic Wealth Advisors. All right. So if someone wants a holistic wealth advisor and wants to get in touch with you or find out what it's all about, what's the best way for them to do that?
They can look at our website at jossbrown.com or give us a call at 757-903-2127.
All right. We appreciate you being here on Money Talks.
Thank you.
Money Talks is a weekly program presented for the listener's benefit and entertainment. It is provided at no cost to the listener, and the ideas, opinions, and comments are not to be construed as legal advice, tax advice, investment advice, or other advice specific to the listener. Listeners are encouraged to seek the advice of a licensed professional or other qualified party when dealing with financial, legal, tax, medical, investment, insurance, taxidermy, plumbing, electrical, carpentry, real estate, chiropractic, veterinary, oral hygiene, hot air ballooning, etc. We have given you some food for thought. Now, call a licensed professional such as Dan Joss at 757-903-2127. Thanks for listening, and remember, failing to plan is planning to fail.